Note, let's go to the IPL. We'll do a quick summary of the first week of the IPL. The Knight Riders kicked off with a win against the defending champion Super Kings. We did talk about that in the last ep. Our Delhi Capitals, let's go Delhi, they beat Mumbai Indians in Game 2. Ishan Kishan got Mumbai off to an excellent start, but Kuldeep Yadav got 3 for 18 for Delhi, and it was some good hitting actually from the lower order to get the Caps home. Lalit Yadav, 48, not the Lord, Shardul Thakur, 22 off 11, and Akshar Patel can swing the blade as well, 38 not off 17. That's just what everyone else wants to see, is more all-rounders in India that can get wickets and score at a phenomenal rate. Game 3, Punjab Kings defeated RCB by 5 wickets. Faf du Plessis, 88, and Virat, 41 not, got RCB to 205, but it wasn't enough. A big team effort from the Kings to get the runs. They win by 5 wickets there. They need an alternate strip, I think, because it was the red with the gold pads and the gold helmets, both teams. It was a bit too much red and gold for my liking. Game 4, we saw the 2 new franchises do battle in Gujarat Titans and Lucknow Super Giants. Gujarat getting the win by 5 wickets. Mohammad Shami, the man of the match, with his 3 for 25. The Titans players shared the runs. Game 5, Rajasthan Royals defeated Sunrisers Hyderabad. Sanju Samson leading from the front, 55 for the skip, as Rajasthan made 210. And then the bowlers all chipped in for the Royals to get the win by 60-odd runs there in Yuzvendra Chahal, Prasid Krishna and Trent Bolt. Game 6, RCB defeated Kolkata. It was a low-scoring game. Hasaranga, who we saw a lot in the T20 series just recently, a really, really good spinner for Sri Lanka and showing his skills out there for RCB, 4 for 20 for Hasaranga. And then the battle of the super teams, the Lucknow Super Giants taking on the Chennai Super Kings in a super game. The Super Kings made 210 off the back of Robin Hood Harper and others. And then Lucknow getting a win there through Quinton de Kock and Devon Lewis, 55 off just 23 balls. Some great hitting there. Game 8 saw the Knight Riders defeat Punjab Kings. Umesh Yadav, 4 for 23. Very good there for the Knight Riders. Game 9, Rajasthan defeating Mumbai Indians. Jos Butler, the first ton of the IPL this year, 100 off 68 balls, and a team effort with the ball to get a 23-run win there. And Game 10, Gujarat actually defeated Delhi last night off the back of a Shubman Gill, 84, and Lockie Ferguson, 4 for 28. A week in, boys, and that table, few surprises on it, isn't it? Warney would be happy. He's Rajasthan Royals player when they won the IPL, and then had a lot to do with coaching them. Obviously, a really nice memorial service on Wednesday night. They reckon 1 billion people watched that.
Tuned in, yep.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Crazy stuff. Some good stories. Geez, when his kids were talking, I was bloody trying to hold back the tears. But Rajasthan on top, the men in pink from the Knight Riders, and Gujarat 2-0 in the start of their first ever IPL campaign. It's sort of down towards the bottom that you raises a few eyebrows, doesn't it?
Yes, so the Mumbai Indians down there in 9th currently after playing there 2, and then Hyderabad as well with 1. So
and the Super Kings 0-2 as well, the defending champs. So Super Kings and Mumbai, both massive franchises with very healthy histories. Both start 0-2. It's very, very slow start. Yeah. Of course, it's a long year. You don't want to get too ahead. Give
it a week and it could be completely flipped.
Exactly right. But that table, it definitely it brings a lot of interest, especially for the neutral viewers, or probably even for those in India that aren't in Mumbai or Chennai fans, seeing these two sort of superpowers get off to a very slow start.
I think we talked about it in the past that the IPL, the way the squad's essentially put together, any team can win it in any year. So I think it's what we talked about in the past. It's elite viewing. You got to tune in to see who's going to win any given day or week, depending on the matches. Mm-hmm. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting deep into the season and seeing how it all kind of shakes out.
And thank you there, Rickon, in the comments. Rahul Chahar currently not playing for the Super Kings. They spent big money on him. A lot will depend on his return and coming back to health. The run scorers, if you wouldn't mind there, Monks, thank you. Ishan Kishan, 135 from his 2 knocks. This bloke is going to play a lot for India. We saw how good he was last year in the IPL, and he's also gotten his Indian white ball cap in the last 12 months. Expect for him to play a lot going forward. Can you chase up his age? I think he's 23 or 24 off the top of my head. So he is very young. Jos Butler, we spoke about the ton. 135 equal through 2 games. Dre Russ went absolutely nuts the other night for Kolkata, 95, including that 70 knot. And Faf and Sanju Samson round out the top 5 there for run scorers. Ishan Kishan, 23?
Yeah, 23. Turning 24 in a couple of months.
So he literally could have a 10-year career for India ahead of him.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, great. Yeah, more Indians that are really good at cricket. Yeah. Umesh Yadav, 8 wickets at 7.3 through his first 3. Really good start. Yuzvendra Chahal, Mohammad Shami, Tim Southey, and Wanindu Hasaranga all have 5. That's the top 5 bowlers through week 1.
Yeah. Serious question for you. You're talking about the rise of, the all-rounder from India. Can you ever see a time, and it hasn't happened in the last 50 plus years of cricket, so this is why I say it's a stupid question. Can you see that the build of more all-rounders in the middle and less specialists, as in you have your specialist top 2 batsmen and your specialist top 2 bowlers as an example, and then the rest are just made up of guys that can do both?
Not a stupid question, because I just said Rahul Chahar when it's Deepak Chahar that they're missing, so not stupid at all. You are seeing it, and this is going to be a bit of a stretch for our Indian listeners, but we've seen rugby league over here develop into everyone becoming this prototype player, where you have less sort of specialists and more guys that are able to do a bit of everything.
We definitely talk about Cameron Green and Ben Stokes and that kind of model. Can you see it instead of having one of those guys in your squad, you're looking to have 6?
That's the influence of T20, isn't it? That you want your guys that are coming in at 7, 8, 9 to be able to hit. Not like it's just about pure hitting, isn't it? You don't need them to go out there and build innings. Like you want them to go out there and be able to strike at 180 and win your games.
Are we seeing that reflection maybe already in, say, the one-day game, where it's like 300 is like a par, and you really got to hit 350, 400 to be a good score?
Definitely, we've said. What about game 2 the other night, Australia-Pakistan, 348. Yep, I went to bed. Series done, 2-0. We'll have a dead rubber, and then I woke up and went, "What the hell? What the hell?" Pakistan literally, cruised to a 6-wicket win, chasing 350. It's definitely the influence of T20.
Yeah, it might be like for Test cricket, it's probably a very long kind of change, because you just don't score runs in that kind of rate. So you probably push yourself to have more specialists, but then. Then again, if you've got 6 guys like Ben Stokes, why wouldn't you pick all 6? You're just like, hey, we want them to be able to bat, and we've got options for bowling. If we're going to have to bowl for 2 days, I'd rather have 6 of them than 1.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think we're quite seeing it carry through to Test cricket, because there's no sort of it's a different game when you've got time. But definitely we've seen one-day cricket change phenomenally in the last 10 years with the advent of T20 and the influence of it.
Well, I suppose even to that as well, like we just saw this Australian-Pakistan series over in Pakistan. Like it was hard to get batters out. Like you still need to have elite bowlers that maybe specialise in bowling.
How many wickets did we take? It was fuck all. Well, actually, we bowled them out in the first one, so we got 10 there. But then in the other 2, we took
1 in the third.
We took 1 and 4. So I think we took 15 in 3 games, and in the last 2 we took 5. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? The influence that T20 has had over one-day cricket.
Well, big scores, 6s, 4s. That's what gets the crowds in. So, I guess that's probably what keeps the mystique of Test cricket. It's
a different game.
You're trying to put more emphasis on the bowling as well. So. Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting thought to throw out there. Especially considering India could potentially be picking 10 all-rounders on us in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah.
I thought I'd ask.
Ricken, no, we have not got our DC jersey just yet.
Hashtag sad.
Yeah, very sad. We'll be hitting them up next time we talk to them, saying, must be lost in the invite. The invite must be lost in the mail,
That's it.
Something was there.
We knew where your brain was going. It just wasn't ticking.
It's interesting being off the beers. I feel like that kind of stuff after 2 beers, it just flows off the tongue, and then towards the end of the episode, it just gets horrendous. So you might just have to cop me at about 80% and staying at about 80% throughout, rather than starting red hot and just really dropping off. Yeah, the F1 comes around and absolute dribble.